Welcome to today's video. Today we are doing fins and things, and it's time for the Jeep to do its maiden voyage. This Jeep is completely stock, like absolutely nothing, open diffs front and rear. So we're gonna see what it does today, what it's like. We're gonna hit the front half and then the back half ideally, and hopefully the Jeep survives. But other than that, it's a beautiful day out here in Sand Flats, and we're gonna go ahead and head up on top and get this rolling. All right, before we actually pull up on the sandstone, let's go and throw it in 4 low. There we go. Let's move. All right, so up here, there's a fork in the road. If your Jeep's a little bit bigger, you can come over here to the right and try out that ledge. Otherwise, you have a couple options. You have your bypass right here to the left, or you can skip the ledge and come over here to the right and try out some of these other obstacles. This right here is a good test of approach and departure. So some vehicles that are a little bit long will drag through here, but the Wrangler, the two-door Wrangler Super Power it's pretty short. Holy. One thing I'm taking away from this stock Jeep is it is not smooth on the trail at all. I've gotten used to the Gladiator that seems like it distributes quite a bit of the bouncing and stuff. Holy. Yeah, so that's gonna be one takeaway from this is there needs to be some better shocks in this Jeep. So whatever it has right now, not great. Not great at all. So this spot on fins and things, you gotta watch out for it right here, because there's a little bit of a ledge that'll sneak up on you if you think you can just roll off of it. So good thing to do is occasionally spot out your window, check where your tires are at. We just want to get nice and tight on the brakes as we approach this ledge. Come off it, want to just stay on them. Once you get the front down, still not done quite yet. Wait for that rear to come down. A little bit of rub on that hitch on the back, but not bad. So I'm not really sure which way is harder. They're all kind of different. We'll go ahead and take this left route. I think they're about the same. So with this left route, what gets people into trouble is this slope right here and this tree. The big thing is you don't have to cut the tree. Don't worry about that ledge over there. Just go ahead and pick your line. Go straight. That's that open diff doing its thing. The only reason why we had so much traction issue right there was because our sway bar is connected. So that's a big thing, that if you're coming out on trail like this, even if you don't have sway bar quick disconnects or something like that, take a minute, unbolt them. I'd recommend getting some sway bar disconnects. You can get them for fairly cheap, but worst case, you just have a tool set, You unbolt them, keep track of the bolts, and throw them back on when you get to the trailhead. It's gonna make your experience on the trail so much more comfortable. So I think that's what I might do when I get to the bottom here of this next drop, is I'm going to go ahead and unhook the sway bars, because that just sucks. Like, this is so rough with those sway bars connected. Okay, steep hill right here. Keep everything in control. All right, let's go play with those sway bars. All right, we got the zip ties in place. This is just temporary. In fact, probably when I get done here today, I'll go ahead and throw the sway bar disconnect kit on. But got a little bit dirty. A little dirt, we'll take it off. Dirt bath. Yeah, let's keep moving. Like, I would say with the sway bar connected, this Jeep is just shy of violent most of the time. But already with that sway bar disconnected, tons better. I think we'll actually start having some fun instead of just banging around. This is probably one of the funnest parts on the trail. Should we do it? Let's give it a go. Okay, big thing is we want to stay as level as possible on an obstacle like this. That sway bar disconnect is already doing big things for us. Yeah, one important thing is when you got open differentials, you got to keep it as level as possible. So ABS is nice, but a couple of good fundamentals will take you a long way and really maximize the ABS that you do have. North half of Fins and Things. This has some fun spots on it. This is probably my least favorite section of the whole trail. This is the part I kind of dread when I do this trail. This section is just rough. It's It's just sandstone, that's everything's at an angle. So think about a bunch of speed bumps from hell, and they're all just stacked on top of each other. This part of the trail right here is one that does demand respect. Big thing to emphasize is always trying to keep that hood as level as possible, especially in a little two-door like this. There's a lot of trouble you can get in. So right here up in front of me, I have a high side and a low side. If I try putting my tire up on that, I kind of got to split it, because if I go too high, I can cause myself a lot of problems. I'm going to go ahead and go a little bit low on this to level myself out, coming down this. We still might end up a little bit higher than we want to. Okay, here's that big flex. That was the right choice. Up in front of us, we have this Jeep. And you can see there's a number on, if you can see, there's a number on the back of it. And what that tells me is this is a rental. So one cool thing about Fins and Things is, let's say you love Jeeping, but you can't justify driving your Jeep across the country. There's a lot of pretty much every rental company here in Moab will let you take your rental Jeep here on Fins and Things, which is super nice because this trail is a lot of fun to drive, and it really does make you think. And it does give you an option to get out here to Moab, drive a Jeep without the wear and tear of trying to driving your Jeep across the country, or finding someone to haul it. And by then, you know, you've covered the cost of a rental for a day. All right, here's another decent hill. This spot is daunting, but it is doable for those who dare. Take your time coming up over the top. Big thing is make sure to, once again, keep your hood as level as possible, especially if you're in a sport like me. So this is not as bad as it looks. All right, so here's the wall. If you're feeling particularly spicy, go ahead and go right. But otherwise, you want to come far over here to the left and get lined up on it. This still has a pretty big step at the bottom, but it's something that's a little bit more manageable. This other side has gotten dug out over time. Get nice and squared up with it. This is going to be an exercise of just staying on those brakes, getting them locked up, and then just barely letting them roll. Now, last thing you want to do on this steep hill is let the Jeep get away from you. So just take your time as you come over the top. Brace yourself for the step down. Hear all the stuff in the Jeep getting away from me. Okay, so this is where you really want to be. Nice and easy, squeeze it. There goes everything I had in the Jeep. Look at this section. This is so cool. This might be one of the coolest sections of Fins and Things. There's a couple spots in here that are really challenging, and there's just some really neat stuff you get to drive over. It's fun seeing all the different vehicles out here. Up in front of us we have, this is a rental right here, so typically they'll put them up on, looks like that came factory with 35s on it. And then up in front of it you have a maybe lightly modified Toyota 4Runner, but nothing too special about it. And then this Gladiator here, well, it's a Rubicon, but it looks like it's pretty much just, I don't see really too much that they've done to it. So it's fun seeing some fairly basic vehicles out here and testing their limits a little bit with this trail. All right, everybody, welcome to the end of Fins and Things. That's a cool trail, right? Like it challenges you. If you haven't been out to Moab, it gives you a taste of what off-roading in Moab is like. There's a lot of sandstone you get to drive on. It's smooth, it's fun, as well as there's some fun sand sections through this. And there's a lot of ways you can modify the trail if you don't have time to do the whole thing. So that's one thing I recommend, is look at the different sections, look at your different exits, and pop in and just have fun. You don't have to do the whole trail. Thank you to everyone that puts time in to drive responsibly out here. Thank you to Jeep that has trails like this on their badge of honor list that get people out to do things that maybe they wouldn't have done before, or they would have missed it. But definitely a stock Jeep can do it, so don't be afraid of coming out and doing this trail. Thanks for watching today, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.